Hi, it's Todd at Todd's Workshop and Todd Cutler here, and today we're back for another quick look at shields and the lockdown longbow. So I'm taking these warbow shafts, shooting them from this crossbow here at the same speeds as a warbow. As you can see, my testing shield is getting rather ventilated, full of holes. Now what is notable from these tests is that if the arrow strikes the arm and the arm armour, it doesn't go through the shield that deeply. Now this poplar binds the arrow really well and it makes the arrow really hard to get out. But quite a few people have commented and said, well, if you grease the shafts of your arrows, will they go in deeper? So today, this film is, very simply, if you grease your shaft, does it penetrate deeper? No jokes. What I'm going to do is take these three shafts here, which have got depth markers on them now, and we're going to completely clean back the oil and the grease and the wax on them, and we're going to shoot them and see how deeply they go through the shield. And then I'm going to do exactly the same test again, but I'll wax the heads down as I've been doing for all of them, and then use this, which is just a combination of, you can see it's sort of soft, greasy stuff. It's just lard, fat, and beeswax. And so it's soft, I'll be able to grease that on the shaft, and we'll see if that lubricates them, gets them to go in deeper. So you know what? It's an adventure for all of us. I don't know what's going to happen either. So let's go shoot some stuff and find out. Back at the range, 25 metres, lockdown longbow, 3 Type 7 needle bodkin shafts. Can we see those? They're all marked off. There we go, nice and clean. No oil, no wax, no grease. So we're going to shoot those now at the shield. 25 metres is not far, but remember this is just a comparative test. One thing against another thing. Nice. So it's holding up pretty well for a poplar shield. Don't tell me they're rubbish. Right, let's go see what we got. It's a real privilege being able to do this kind of thing, because, you know, this is sort of work, but it's sort of fun. There we are. Nice. This first shaft here is in at 15, so that is about 12 on this one. And this one has come in at 17. Around about 15 centimetres on average through the back of the shield. Now I've got to get them out, and it is not that straightforward, I can tell you. So you've got to waggle the shaft first. The shaft's tapered, so they will come out in the end. But there we go. But it's not easy. So as you can see, that really is quite an effort. Doubt you can see really, but I've got wax on the heads of these just as before. Now I'm going to wax up the shaft with this lump of sort of beeswax and lard really, which is mixed together. Just a nice smearing. I've got the gloves on because I don't want to get the bow greasy. Hopefully that whole grease treatment is going to lubricate it up and they'll go sailing through, but you know, we'll find out. Well, from here it looks much the same, but you know, the guy holding the shield might feel differently. Right, let's see what we got. Thing is, you need to remember as well, this shield is really on quite bouncy bungees here. This is not like it would be close to the body and knocked into the body under a strike or the weight of the arm. So penetration would actually be more if a man were holding this than we're seeing now. Well, look here, I can tell you right now, this is better than it was before. So that is really going to start going into your torso. Depends what you're wearing, obviously, but it's going to be striking your armour. So here we are at the front of the shield. And I can tell you now this first one, 27 centimetres. 25, because that's 30, 35 mark, 25, 27, and 30. I mean, that is really, again, it's just so interesting, because the bottom line is, putting grease on your shafts really helps it go deeper into the shields. And that is potentially now going to start striking the knights behind and interfering with them, catching on their armour, because they're not going to have time to pull these out. They've got to live with what they got. And the more you can annoy them, the better it is for you. We're back to look at the shield and to see what we've got. And that is the back. So look at that. There's my forearm. So you can see these really have punched through. So as I said up at the target there, we had an average distance of around 12 centimetres before. And now this time we have got 27, 25 and 30. So let's say about 27. So 12 centimetres versus about 27 poking out the back of the shield. But the other thing that it's done is it's caused me a real nuisance. Now look at that. I'm holding my shield there, fine. But if it's here in front of me, look what it's doing. I can't engage with these. Maybe I've got time if I've got my sword here and I can try and do this. But this is ash. This is actually pretty tough stuff. You know, and maybe you haven't got time to do that. The bottom line is this is just going to be entangling you all the time, just chewing you up, getting annoying. And there might be some more here as well. So the fact that these greased shafts go through that much further is really interesting to me, because this will hinder my fighting. And the guys out there knew that putting grease on these shafts would do that. I will put money on it. So whoever you were who suggested in those comments, there's probably a few of you, why not grease up the shaft? You were really onto something actually, because this poplar wood binds around the shaft. You grease it up, it goes in further. And like I said, these people were really good at observing their environment and what happened around them and what did what to what. Putting grease on arrow shafts makes them go through the shield further. And to an archer, that is a good thing. Did they know it? I'll be certain that they knew it. Did they do it? Who knows? Thanks for watching.